When I think about my image of the teacher, there is few different things that come to my mind. To me, the teacher in early childhood sector should not only be an advocate for children on daily practices but should also actively engage in being an activist. So let me break this down a bit more. There are few different things that I believe a strong, successful teacher needs to reflect upon. A strong teacher should have a voice for them to be an effective leader, and a voice to stand for children. A teacher should be a role model for children to respect and look up to, as well as demonstrating care and love for all children. Being that role model comes with the responsibility of being a safe and stable adult for children, for them to approach whenever needed. Additionally, an early childhood teacher should be a provider for learning, growth, and support for their children, striving for quality care and education within the program. But relating to Reggio Emilia approach, image of the teacher needs to reflect a positive image of the child, that they are capable and competent learners. When I think about the type of the teacher I want to be someone who inspires and influences those around me, who encourages staff, parents, and families to understand and recognize the importance of our industry. Someone who believes in the importance of the connection with parents and families and their essential role in a child's learning. I want to be a teacher who can critically reflect on experiences to continuously strive for improvements. We need to be able to recognize the ability and potential of children and find ways to showcase their greatness, just as outlined in Reggio Emilia philosophy. But in order to achieve these areas, Gillian Wright expresses in a text that we as professionals have to be able to question our practices, question discourses, and question our teaching for the better. Are we enforcing change for our benefit or for the benefit of the children? Are we implementing learning that we think that children will enjoy, or did they voice their opinions? Do we take over experience and activities because we don't believe they can do it alone? Is our classroom what we want to see rather than creating a space that they want to see? Have a think. This shows the power of critical reflection. Now we look into advocacy. What is advocacy as an early childhood teacher? The approach by Manjula Wanganiake expresses that early childhood advocate is a teacher who empowers children and who is always willing to give advice or provide a listening ear. An advocate is a teacher who speaks on behalf of those children who cannot voice their own opinion. A teacher who emphasizes the significance of early childhood education and always put the children first to promote inclusion, diversity, and give them a sense of belonging. Being a strong advocate is bringing awareness, exposure, recognition, and acceptance to our industry and fighting for fairness to provide quality education and care to our children. These are the things we should be practicing every day, because being an advocate isn't hard. The minute you step foot into your classroom, your advocacy has already begun. You showed up, you are there to support, you are there for the children, and you are there to be a champion. Now we are looking into activism. Being an activist is very similar to being an advocate. You still have the same beliefs, same values, and same practice. But to be an activist, you must apply actions to make changes or differences. This may be through the large act of participating in protests and petitions to support the industry, or small act of implementing effective leadership in your service. But no matter, these actions of activism are equally as important. To be an activist, you must engage with parents, families, and community in order to support children's learning and well-being, or it may be to rectify any barriers or discourses that are impacting the children, supported by ABEC and Wanganiake. Before starting the unit, I used to think that leadership is about authority and power, and it will automatically happen when you reach a certain grade. But the article Unpicking Leadership in the Early Childhood made me realize that an effective leader can be a young and inexperienced staff who has just joined the service but already knows how to support people around. Supported by Maxwell, that leaders are effective because of who they are on the inside, in the qualities that make them up as people. The concept of advocacy and activism was entirely new for me, which forced me to think how important it is to practice advocacy and activism for an early childhood leader, how we are well placed to identify and take actions on issues that affect children's well-being and development, supported by Sandra Cheeseman. Now I believe that leadership in ECE sector is not just a mere position but a privilege and responsibility which gives us the authority to stand and fight for children's rights. So before you step into your room, reflect on your teaching beliefs. What's your image of the teacher? Do you fulfill your beliefs? Does your practice align with any of these approaches? Do you consider yourself be an advocate or activist in your practice, or can you somehow achieve being both? Thank you.